Nice. What is going on, everybody? It's Bort back in the action yet again, and I just gotta start this video off and saying I'm sorry that I haven't really uploaded in about a week and a half. I was getting my butt kicked in my summer class, and thankfully I just have to take the final exam now. I'm gonna study through that all week, and I'll be good to go. Got to shut the fan off. I just gotta start this video off by saying I'm really thankful for all the support. I really liked that Clone Army video and how much you guys appreciated it and how much you guys let me grow from it. So I just wanted to start this kind of revival of the channel since I've been gone for about a week and a half, starting off with a how to build your clone army. Not just how to build it, but how to build it effectively and with not really a budget, but just keeping your money in mind to make sure that you're getting the best deal, in my opinion. These 4 tips have been really influential in the 4 that I have been following as I've been growing this clone army over the few months. Why do I always do lists of 4? That just sounds weird. Anyways, without further ado, let's get into the 4 clone army building tips that you can do to save money. Let's get into it. Anyways, number 1. This is pretty much the easiest one that you're gonna do. Anyone can do it, and it's probably the gateway into getting into clone army building, which is buying current sets. It's pretty much the easiest and cheapest way, like I said, to build a clone army, with current sets being sold at retailers, online, pretty much anything. Even Shields has some Lego Star Wars sets, so literally they're almost sold everywhere, as well as online, Amazon, stuff like that. You can get them from Walmart.com, just pretty much everywhere. These sets include the 501st Battle Pack, Fighter Tank, AAT, Minifig Pack, and ATTE. These are some decent army builders, but please watch that video right there just to get a heads up on what you're getting into if you're going to be looking at these sets. But anyways, even if you do get the minifigure pack, it is a lot cheaper to get 3 clones for $15 and 4 clones from the 501st Battle Pack for $24 than it is to try and get secondhand sets such as the 2009 Battle Pack. Since if you look on Bricklink, if you look at that 2009 Battle Pack, it's roughly $60, I believe. I could be wrong. I didn't look at the price before this video. The last time I checked, I think a sealed set was about $60 to $80, which is kind of nuts. So essentially what I'm saying is there's a few sets that I do advise you trying to buy, which is the 501st Battle Pack, the AAT, and I know it's impossible, but try and get the minifigure pack because I believe these 3 are going to be retiring at the end of 2022 just because you haven't seen a big price bump, and I know minifigure packs don't really last even though they've only been in stock 4 times or something like that. So that only leaves the Fighter Tank and the ATTE. Both are going to be almost impossible to get, but they will be out for about a year or 2, maybe even 3, who knows. So even though we got a good majority of the sets retiring, as well as 2 that are really hard to get, if we take a look back at the 501st Battle Pack, that was almost impossible to get for the first 6 months, and now they're abundant. I know Walmart and Target just had their huge sales before the price increase, so their shelves are pretty much just barren. But if you go to a small town that has a Walmart like my town, it's going to be pretty good. I saw that they had a lot of stuff. They probably had about 30 Snow Trooper Battle Packs, even though one of my Walmarts in Sioux Falls, where I technically live with my parents, is going to be they were barren. But the bad thing is with this, it doesn't really add the diversity. You're going to only be getting a few Clone Legions per wave of sets. So if you get this, you're going to be able to get 501st Battle Pack in bulk. You'll be able to get a few 32nd, and then you'll be able to get a decent army if you can of the all-white clones. You're going to get a ton of clone commanders. It's just going to suck. You're going to be able to get quite a few 187th, and now you're going to be able to get 212th, which sounds like a lot, but in the past there's been a lot more, especially with how the designs of the clones have been. You got the old school 2005 to 2010 clone troopers with the cutout visors, the phase 2. You got the Clone Wars, you got the old school 212th, you got the 41st from Kashyyyk. You just got all these clones, and just getting retail sets doesn't add much diversity, but that's where these next 3 tips enter. Awesome, so tip number 2, Bricklink pricing. So if you're new to Bricklink, it's going to be a little bit intimidating to try and navigate the site, especially with all the options you have available to yourself. And if you go to the main menu, it looks pretty fine until you try to make a selection, you click on like minifigures, there's gonna be this huge laundry list of things with a really tiny text. So even if you try and make a selection and you don't know what you're doing, you're gonna be going down a long like rabbit hole. But don't worry, it's really easy to get into. If you start to learn, it's gonna be one of the best friends for clone army building. Even I went through this at the beginning. It was really intimidating, like I said, but we got through it, so you can too. Essentially, how I like to shop on Bricklink to try and clone army build is trying to buy in bulk, as well as looking for the best deal available. And I'll tell you how to do that. It's actually a lot easier than some people think. The process is going to look a little hard, but once you get a hang of it, just like Bricklink, it's going to be really beneficial. So essentially, you're going to go over to Bricklink, and you're going to come up to this little search bar right up here, and then type in Clone Trooper, just like so. And then when you get to this page right here, you want to go to this minifigure tab right over yonder. You can scroll through. There's about 80 minifigures, it says, 4 pages worth. So like I said, it's going to be kind of overwhelming if you're not used to it. But let's say you find a clone that you want to clone army build with. Let's go with the Bomb Squad. From here, you're going to go down here to more options and then select the retailer or your country that you want to buy from. It's not really necessary, but if you want to save a lot more money, I would do it, because then you don't have to pay an arm and a leg for international shipping. Then come to this one right here. This is the main factor that I like to look for. I go to, instead of lowest price, go to highest quantity. Bricklink automatically sets the sorting feature down to the lowest price to see what you can buy for the cheapest, but a lot of those are going to be damaged, missing parts, going to be in bad quality, low numbers, stuff like that. So I usually like to buy in bulk because they're a lot more higher quality. There's going to be a lot more, so I don't have to buy more with shipping, and so on and so forth. From here, you can see we can got a 29, 18, 14, 11, 10, 9, and so on. But the reason why we bring this up is because if we go down to this little pricing guide right here, click on that, and if we look at these two, why am I in Canadian dollars? What? That was severely odd. There we go. Okay, so if we go to this pricing guide, like I said, and then we look at these two things right here, it just depends on how quality you want your figures. I don't really care if they're going to be used as long as they're in good condition. If they're like new or good condition or excellent condition, stuff like that, just depends on the figure that I want. Like if I'm going to be army building, I'll be buying quite a bit of used figures or new if I can find a really good deal. But if it's going to be like a Commander Wolf like I got, I really don't want to get it used because those figures are really worth it to get new. And this screen, if you're really not into like the analytics of like buying and selling, it's going to be a little intimidating. But you really want to look at these two, the average price and the quantity average price of both of them. So we can see the average price is going to be about $6.58 and the quantity average price is about $7.50. Since we're going to be buying in bulk, if you can find this $7.50 price right here, that's going to be the target. If we can look at the average price right here, $6.58, that means we're getting an extremely good deal. So let's go back to the Bomb Squad picture right over here. And you could already see good deal right there, good deal right here, bad deal, bad deal, bad deal, bad deal, good deal, bad deal, bad deal, bad deal. Sweet. So if you see, like I said, we got a couple good deals with $5.19 and $6.47, and it's not hard math to tell that $5.19 is a better deal than over $6. It says 9 out of 10 condition, which is going to be decent quality. It depends on, like I said, if you want to clone army build with like amazing quality figures, or if you're gonna be like bulk lot ordering, and they can be a little bit, it's not bad but decent. This one down here from the same seller is about 9.5 out of 10, which is gonna be good. Personally, since it is still a 90%, if you get a 90% on a test, it's still a grade A. So I still think this is good if you're going to be buying in bulk. Ultimately, it's just up to you. So essentially, that's how I've been ordering from Bricklink the past few months. And I got a few lots coming in, but I want to save it for this one video. So stay tuned for that. Number 3, official versus custom. I know some people are LEGO purists. Don't get me wrong, that's all cool. But Personally, if you want a clone Legion that you're not going to be able to get through Lego, you have 3 options. Wait till they make it, they're never going to make it, or you're going to have to get a custom or printed. So, depending on the rarity of the figure and depending on how many people want it, it's going to make these secondhand figures really expensive, especially if they've only been in one set. So let's just take the example of the Shock Trooper from 2014. I've been talking about them a lot, but maybe if I keep pushing it, maybe Lego will do it. But anyways, let's just get on with it. Shock Trooper from the Coruscant gunship retailed for about $50 as a whole set. You got 2 amazing Shock Troopers in that set, but if you go to Bricklink right now, they're roughly $70 a piece. So what can you do? Technically, you could army build with the Clone Wars style that costs $70 each. If you want to lose an arm and a leg, same thing with the Phase 2 Wolf Pack, the Phase 1 Wolf Pack, so on and so forth. But there is an alternative to this. You can get printed clones as well as decals on the a third party. They're gonna be all official Lego, especially if they are one of these big retailers like Clone Army Customs. I've bought from them for years, and they're just such high quality. Don't get me wrong, they're not that cheap either, but when it comes to trying to buy a Shock Trooper for $28 versus $70, you can buy almost 3 Shock Troopers for the same price as 1 from the actual set. Essentially, I'm saying that their quality is pretty much unmatched. You got printing around all the legs, printing around the arms, printing around every side of the torso, great helmet mold, stuff like that, great variety. You got a lot of additional attachments for the clones. They got the helmet visors in the right spots. So essentially you're just paying for what you get. High price, high quality. Unlike Lego right now. But if printed figures are too expensive or not your thing and you want to have something to do yourself, look at decaled figures. 2 of my favorite places to look at is AV Figures and Jonak Toys. I've only bought decals from AV Figures once, and I haven't bought from Jonak yet. I'm just not the greatest with decals because I'm a little bit impatient when it comes to stuff like that. I just want to get it done. But if you got the patience, and I'm going to learn how to decal hopefully soon, it's definitely the better alternative, especially price-wise. I think I priced out the parts for a blank torso, a realistic helmet, the decal, and shipping as well as the protection for right around $750. No, it wasn't with the shipping. It was just the parts and then the protection. So it's about $750, and it does take a little bit of time and skill to get used to, but $750 versus $28 and $70. $750 is a really good deal. Like I said, $750 is a really good deal, but there is a caveat to this. If you're new to decaling, it will be extremely frustrating to try and get down. I know I was struggling when I was trying to do it. I put my 3 decaled clones in my army video, but I don't even think I even referenced them because they just looked that bad. But it's a time-consuming process. It can be messed up in any step. But if you're good at it, definitely do it to save some money. Buy official Lego minifigures. If you buy custom printed or custom decaled, they're all amazing ways to army build. Tip number 4. This isn't really looking at Bricklink or prices or even Lego in general. This is more of just a tip for life, even down the road. And if you have a goal ever, you're gonna want to start sooner rather than later. Just because if you guys set a goal and you just ponder on it for a little bit, you're gonna either miss the opportunity or it's gonna be double, triple, quadruple times harder. If you look at Lego, sets are at a really not decent, they're at an okay price right now. Everything's going up, but especially after a set retires, it's gonna be going up exponentially. Basic supply and demand. I was trying to explain this to my dad, I think. Or no, I was trying to explain it to my roommate yesterday. If you have equal supply and demand, Lego's producing, people want to keep buying it, it's going at this static rate right here. As soon as Lego retires a set, supply is going to be going down. Demand is either going to stay the same or increase like this. It's going to be an inverse function, and that causes the price to increase. That's just how basic economics work. if there's a lot of people that want something, there's going to be a lot of competition for it, so they're going to do whatever they can to get it. So people are going to raise their prices because they'll do more to try and get that. So that's why these shock troopers are $70. There's such a limited supply of them. They're $70. Everyone wants them. There's not that many. So kind of explains it. I wrote down here that if you take the 2009 battle pack that I referenced earlier, I believe it was $12 back in the day, and now it's going to be like 60, 70, 80, like I said. So basically what I'm saying is I don't want you to go balls to the wall with your spending habits and get addicted. But I also am trying to say, if there's something that you really want and think is going to be very valuable down the line, I'm not anyone that observes economics, or I'm not trying to tell you what to do with your money. But especially with how I look at these kind of things, if you see something that you really want and it's either on the secondhand market, it's going to be on the retirement list here soon, I say get it while you can at the price that it is, or you're going to be risking spending a lot more money down the line. And like I said, that's pretty much everything with life. You got to jump in. You just can't be watching to the sidelines. You got to just jump in, get your feet wet, and get into it. Otherwise, you're going to regret not taking the opportunity. I wanted to clone army build back in the day, but my job wasn't the best paying when I was wanting to, so I couldn't exactly clone army build the best I wanted to. I got a few sets here and there every so often, plus I wasn't really invested into the idea of collecting at the time. This is about 5 to 7 years ago, and I completely regret it because during that time I missed out on the 212th battle pack, or 41st battle pack, the Senate Commando battle pack. I missed out on all these sets where I could have gotten all these clones, but I got really invested in 2018 with the unfortunate Jedi versus Clone Trooper battle pack, but I got a good bulk of my army. And I spent a lot more money now than I would have if I just bought all these battle packs back in the day. But like I said, you got to jump in when you feel like the idea is good. Otherwise, you're going to be like me and regret not doing it right away. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. This has been Bort's Bricks. I appreciate the support, like I said. We're almost at 200 subs. I haven't even posted for about a week and a half, and I'm surprised that my sub count even kept going up. Hopefully this week I'm going to be able to post quite a few more videos. I'm going to be going back to Sioux Falls, but I want to pre-record some so I can upload them throughout the week and a half that I'm gone. I got to finish up my work for the summer. I got school starting in about, 2.5 weeks. So hopefully I get some videos edited and uploaded and then released throughout the next week and a half, like I said. So stay tuned for those. Anyways, this has been Bort's Bricks. Like always, thank you for watching. Stay cool. Have a good one.